Alrighty, let's see what we've got. Starting stream health. Audience will see in a moment. Let's see if we're actually reconnected. And yay, I look like I'm online. Well, hopefully I didn't lose too many of you with all that. That whole little bit, that has been a good summary of my technical stuff for the last week, which is why I did not have the recorded episode. So, everybody, welcome to my world. Hopefully everybody can see me again. I can actually see it on my other monitor here, so... Well, after all that, I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and let's go with whatever. We can continue the saving money bit. But if you guys have other things, because I know some of you were asking about other stuff as well, we can definitely do that. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm actually sweating. That's how frustrated. No, why is it not working? So, if you're sitting there kind of going, what's going on? Does he not notice? Well, yeah, the human side of me comes out at times like that. So, just a question. When did I leave Disney? I was at Disney from 2006 to 2011. Busch Gardens was 2004 to 2006. Disney 2006 to 2011, which is when I moved up to Missouri. And then Silver Dollar City from 2012 to 2014. When I first moved to Missouri, I did not expect or intend to work at Silver Dollar City. It was going to be fun, but then we needed money really bad. So that's kind of when and where I went there. So, I wonder here, because we got this big old long chat. I wonder if it's going to attach all this chat to the previous archive and make this a separate, or what it'll do. I don't even know how this is going to work anymore. This should be real fun when I try to look at my video thing and try to edit or upload them and archive them for people to see. I have no idea if YouTube's going to treat this as 2 streams or 1 or 2 episodes. And all that stuff that you guys don't care about. Yeah, Aaron, don't jinx me. I will beat you, child. I mean, there's only, 4 months? No, 3 months till I see you again. So, when is the not safe for magic stream? Tell you what, Jay, ask me your question and let me see if I can give you an answer that will answer it while not breaking magic. If you know, generally I don't plan on doing not safe for magic streams just because I prefer keeping the magic, but sometimes I can talk around it just a little bit, so I might be able to do that. Otherwise, your best bet, if you really want an answer, forgive me for the shaking, I'm kicking my shoes off, so I know just what you need to know. It smells over here now. But if you have a question that is not safe for magic, that maybe go behind the scenes or break character or whatever a little bit, if I don't answer it in the live stream, send me a message either through Facebook, or you can always send an email at SirWillow@gmail.com, and I can answer it that way. So, by the way, I got to give Gut a shout out. Thank you for the wonderful compliment. And if you don't know what I'm talking about there, well, Aaron already deleted it. Yeah, it's the internet. You get some. Welcome back, Valerie. Welcome back, Holt Shooter. Welcome back to me, because I'm actually back online again. But we can kind of go for whatever. So, Jay, I'm watching for your question now. And we can just chat whatever. At this point, as long as it's streaming, it's got me so thrown off of my game now that, yeah, you guys are going to get to see a side of SirWillow maybe you don't get to see. Have a suspicion and took some pictures of you at Disney in 2009. It's possible. I've had several people tell me that they said, oh, hey, I'm sure you were a photographer. I would love for people to send me these pictures that I took or might have taken and see if I can remember any of them. I did actually have one girl told me that she was sure I took pictures of her. And while she never sent me the picture I took, I did look at her Facebook profile and I thought I remembered her. But I'd love to see the pictures. So send it to me. You can either email it to me at SirWillow@gmail, or if you have it online anywhere, send me a link. I'd love to see and know if it was me. Michael Trinkle, can I review the Lion King trailer, the new one? Okay, so here's my feelings about the new Lion King trailer. Why? I know there are some people really excited about The Lion King. I love The Lion King. I've got the original. It's one of my favorite movies. I love the artistic side of it. And thank you so much, Craig, for that encouraging word. I appreciate it. My problem with the new Lion King movie is that it's all CGI. And so it's a live action that's not live action. It's still animated, but it has none of the artistry that a hand-drawn one would. The lines are almost word for word the original. I mean, honestly, the trailer I've seen, you could actually take the audio from the original and just stick it with the new animation and it'd be no different. So I'm not impressed. I have yet to see a need for a new Lion King, especially one that looks exactly the same as the old one. And yeah. Yes, Aaron and I already had this conversation a little bit where I kind of ranted a bit. It's possible it may turn into a decent movie, but I am not in the least bit excited about it. I'm sorry. If you are, good. I hope you go see it. But to me, it seems like a pointless movie to make. So I know I'm a downer on that one. I'm sorry. So, took your advice, took copy drawing characters, and made the experience more memorable. That's awesome to hear, Hulk Shooter. Personal, especially for someone like you who's an introvert. Things like that are a great way to start off a conversation with the character. So, yes, if you do drawings or things like that, bring it into the characters and let them see what you do. When did I leave in 2011? April. Actually, technically, it was really end of March. I had come up to Missouri. So here's the story. I'll tell you the story of why everything happened. Now, keep in mind, my main job is a minister, and we were looking for a church to pastor. We had actually planned spring break of that year. And I'm going to whack my microphone because I'm talking with my hands. We had planned to come up to Missouri to visit my mother at spring break that year. And while we were up here, we're going to look at a couple churches in Arkansas. Well, the week before we were going to come up, my mother had a health issue that made me come up to Missouri early, and got up here early to be here with her, and found out she was okay. But at that point, I was like, I'm here. Why go home for 3 days and turn around and come back again? So I just stayed up here. This is probably beginning of March. Yeah, beginning to middle of March. And ended up, while I was staying up here, talking to some people, talking to some other people. And by the time my family got up here, we had actually been appointed pastors of this church. And so it was a matter of within a week and a half, and just wham, all of a sudden we're pastors. Like, whoa! So I actually went back down to Florida for a week and a half, packed, worked at Disney for that last week and a half. And then my intention was actually to stay on seasonal and move up to Missouri and then go down to Florida once every 6 months or so and still work at Disney. And that way I could keep my status as a cast member. Well, I just never plain made it back. So for the first 3 months or so, I was still at Disney. And then after that, that was it. So anyways, that's kind of the story of how we ended up in Missouri, leaving out a few things because I don't want to get too preachy or anything. But it was a very sudden transition. My family actually ended up staying in Florida until July because they had to finish the school year. But that's kind of how we ended up that way. So, let's see. Seen SirWillow like this before and still show up? Oh, Aaron's seen me at a couple of great moments. Aaron and Laurel, I can honestly say, have seen me not just at my best. I don't know if Aaron's necessarily seen me at my worst. I know his girlfriend Laurel has, definitely. But he's definitely seen me a couple times and it was like not so good. And yeah, he still hangs around because he's amused by me a little bit. And yeah, I won't go there. Still trying to find the pics you took of Mom and Dad. Think my sister has it. If Valerie Black hats, that would be awesome to see. Even if it's just like taking a picture of the picture or something. That would be great. Ben the Cat Guy, totally understand not being anywhere near. But yes, that would be awesome. From what I've heard from a few people who remember, I was a very memorable photographer, especially out on the streets. In fact, the guy who took me to Paris with his kids, The reason that whole thing started was because he actually remembered me taking pictures of his family at Disney World when I was there, and remembered my whole little routine. Because when I worked on the streets at Walt Disney World, I don't want to say I put on a show, but I was a very active photographer because I wanted to make those moments very memorable. And so I've had a number of people over the years that remember, just because I was active enough with it. It wasn't just a stand there, take your picture, bye, see you later. No, I made it an experience. It was more fun for me, and it was more fun for them. So let's see. Just can't wait to be king. Craig, I think you're going to be waiting a longer time. Oh no. So, let's see. What is my favorite Disney World attraction? Right now, it would probably be Flight of Passage, but Tower of Terror is still right there as well. Tower of Terror was it for years. Flight of Passage is, I think it just edges it, but yeah, they're both fantastic. Let's see. Adriel got her drawing to show it off to Cinderella, so I have an awesome picture of me with both Cinderella and Ariel in the same picture. That's really cool. Let's see. Which part of Epcot was my favorite? World Showcase. Absolutely loved World Showcase. I don't know if I can necessarily pick out one country pavilion more than others. Although I can say this is going to sound bad, but the American Experience is probably my least favorite of the pavilions in World Showcase because it's just kind of there. But it's also not different. I love the differences. But I love a lot of the pavilions there. So I had a blast in World Showcase. When I got stuck working at Future World, it was like Epcot was one of my favorite parks to work at if I was World Showcase and with characters, and one of my least favorite to work at if I was in Future World or Test Track or Character Spot. So I loved World Showcase though, still do. Disney has run out of ideas. They have definitely been on the weak side, but they still have had a few. They have just been not anywhere near as many. They're so focused right now on the remakes and the updates, and so you get like 3 remakes, and then you'll get an original. And then you get a sequel and a couple others, and then an original. I wish they'd focus more on the original. I could go on a whole long rant about that and who's doing it, but they're not necessarily out of ideas. They're just not working on the original ones. Right now, Disney is in a very cash grabby mood, and they have done this before. Towards the end of Eisner's reign, Disney got very cash grabby and wanting every little penny, and it turned bad, and that's why Eisner got chased out of the company. Well, unfortunately, the end of Bob Iger's reign is going the same way. And I'm hoping, because Iger has announced already that I think next year will be his last year. I'm hoping whoever comes after him kind of steers us back to, let's get the quality in place, because when you have quality, then the money comes, as opposed to focusing on the money at the expense of the quality. Yeah, very disappointed in some of that right now. Let's see, Jay Norris, more so for Disneyland than Disney World. If they have a sudden major emergency like a freak storm, would they let people in the after doors? You mean the utilidors? At Disneyland, no, they would not, because Disneyland does not have utilidors. Disneyland doesn't have any tunnels. The only 2 Disney parks that do are Magic Kingdom, and Epcot has a small one. And yes, if there was to be a major event, like all of a sudden a major tornado's coming through or something, yes, there are plans in place to put the people in the utilidors at Magic Kingdom, but they generally don't want to do that, and I don't know if they ever have. They might have once, maybe. But Disneyland does not have any utilidors, so no, they can't do it there. They do have a plan in place, though, if weather comes in, but Southern California very rarely gets any sort of weather. I mean, even a thunderstorm is really weird there, so it's not really a worry, but there is a plan in place. Absolutely. Let's see. What about Figment? I do love Figment, but PhotoPass, we never did anything with Figment. But yes, I do absolutely love Figment, so thank you, Craig. My thoughts on Captain Marvel. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. No, you're right. I don't think I ever did mention it. Very pleased to see how well the movie is done. We very much enjoyed Captain Marvel. It will definitely be a movie that we buy and we watch again several times. Very pleased with that overall. And of course, we are just over a week away until Endgame coming out. So, but in fact, that's where you do see some of the originality is with the Marvel end of the movies right now. But yes, Captain Marvel was great. I had a good feeling about the whole time, and you had a bunch of goobers that were very negative on it, mostly because it was a woman. So I was very pleased. Loved Captain Marvel. So, what park was I mostly working? February 2009, if I can remember. Oh goodness, let's see here. I spent my first 6 months exclusively at Magic Kingdom. The next year, I was status. So let's see. We're looking 2007 at Studios, and then beginning 2008 was Epcot. 2009, I was actually bouncing around. I was almost equally between Magic Kingdom and Epcot, with occasional shifts thrown in at Hollywood Studios. So at that time, I could have been at any of the parks. I was technically on part-time, but I worked full-time hours by filling in shifts at all sorts of other places. So I was at all the parks, really, at that point, Ben. Am I going Six Flags Over Texas? No plan to this year. In fact, I think I've announced mostly where I'm going this year. And really, the biggest reason I don't go to all these other places, one of them is money. I believe it or not, I don't have lots of money. I don't make much money on the channel. So I don't get to, can't afford a lot of travel. And then the other thing is time. My wife is a full-time teacher. We can't take off during the school year because she can't take off from school, which leaves us limited there. And then trying to work with the church, because pastoring is my first job. So I miss more Sundays than I should as it is. And so trying to take off, especially on a trip like down to Texas, it's a 8 to 10 hour drive to get down there. Stay a couple days to do it and come back. That's a lot of money for just a day or two. So, yeah, that's why I don't get to do a lot of these things. Brett Hayward, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. I'm happy you do love the videos. So, longest running shows in the World Showcase portion of Epcot. American Adventures and Impressions of France. And Impressions is still going to keep going. They're even bringing a Beauty and the Beast sing-along. But Impressions is the longest running film, I believe, anywhere in the world, and they're not going to end that streak. So yes, they keep going. After spending $73 billion, would you blame them on being cash greedy? Hulk Shooter, I actually do, because they're making billions in profit. Billions in profit. And they're still trying to eke out every penny. They're at a point in the game where I wish they would take some of that money and turn it back into their cast members instead of cutting hours and doing things like charging delivery fees and putting in automated cameras so they can cut down labor costs. When you're making billions in profits, you can cut those profits a little bit and put them back into your employees and your guests. And what they're not realizing is if they did that, they would actually make even more profit. That's how Walt ran the company. Walt was, we've got 4 keys: safety, show, courtesy, and, oh gosh, I'm going to forget my 4th key. Efficiency. There we go. Hey, this is what they drill into every cast member out there is safety is first. And then you've got courtesy. In other words, you think of the guest. Show, keep it, keep everything within the magical performance, and then efficiency. And when you are eking dollars out of your guests, that does not fit into those 4 keys. It's bad show and it's discourteous. So you're actually violating 2 of your keys when you do that. Walt drilled those into people because those 4 keys, I feel like I'm doing the 4 horsemen, but those 4 keys were the key that brought people into Disney. And he found that if you focused on those instead of the dollars came, and they actually came more because people weren't thinking, oh, they're just out after my money. I've got to protect it. I've got to keep it. If you give people a reason to spend the money, a good reason, they'll spend it, and you don't even have to tell them. So, Aaron, I'd love to go to the Villains Night at Magic Kingdom. That would be totally cool. Let's see here. Let's see. Yep, cash grab. Any funny stories about the citizens of Hollywood? I can't tell you one. I didn't work with them a lot. I watched them. But Paige Turner, who only does part-time now, I did see one incident with her that was really kind of funny. It was scary at first. If you don't know who the Citizens of Hollywood are, they are the actors who come out at Disney's Hollywood Studios on the streets and do various interactions with the guests and have little skits and storylines. And she had gotten a hold of a jump rope, and I don't even remember how she did this. And so she was out there and she started to jump rope and she missed. And her foot landed on the rope and it tripped her and she did a face plant. It was like, ugh! And so at first it was right over, see if she was okay. And she kind of got up, laughed off a little bit, and then went off stage. But yeah, that was the one time I was like, oh my goodness, Paige just did a face plant. That's not good. And I don't think she was hurt. She was back out the next round, and I didn't see bandages or anything, but it probably shook her up a little bit. Otherwise, if you've never seen them, look for some of the YouTube videos. They do some hysterical stuff. I'm fascinated by magic and illusion. Jack Diamond is absolutely fantastic. Easily one of my favorites. So, let's see here. Love Captain Marvel. Yep, which you should. It was a great movie. What are my thoughts on the Star Wars Celebration show at Disney Hollywood Studios? I've seen them when I'm there. I'm a Star Wars geek. Remember, I saw the original in the movie theater in 1977. So I enjoyed it, but I can also see, if you were not as much of a geek as I am, how they would be boring. Of course, when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens, I fully expect those to disappear. Maybe the nighttime show still, but I would be surprised if they keep the stage shows. For me, though, it's also kind of the last remnant of Star Wars weekends, which I absolutely loved. And it's not coming back, and Galaxy's Edge is not going to replace the neat experiences that were there. So, but I enjoy them, but I expect them to disappear. Let's see here. Let's see. Didn't Ford try to pay employees enough so they could afford cars? CM should get paid enough so they could eat in the onstage restaurants. I don't know about the Ford thing, Craig. I honestly, I don't know on that. I actually, as a cast member at the time, and this is, goodness, would you believe it's 13 years now. At the time, I was making almost $10 an hour, which was actually pretty good money. I was getting paid a little bit more than others because PhotoPass was considered technical and administration, which is a weird designation. But they also, Disney gives cast members discounts to eat at the restaurants anyways. And in the Christmas package, you would get some coupons that would give you 40 or 50% off a couple of the restaurants. So we did eat at some of them, but I don't know. I've got so much of the work in the park at Disney is what's called unskilled labor. And so I understand why the wages are low. It's a theme park thing. Wages are low at theme parks because it's generally unskilled. And so you get a lot of young people doing it. And then as you're there for a while, then you build up in wages. So, I mean, I understand why the wages are low. They're not, the opening jobs and things aren't meant to be a livable job. It's something for somebody to start off at and work their way up. So, but, Valerie Blackcat's rule. Disney's always the pinnacle of customer service. It absolutely used to be, and they're forgetting some of that. And that's kind of my fear. I hope they don't toss it aside. There's still enough people in the company now that it is for them, but I am afraid that some of the upper management is forgetting that that is the pinnacle of the company and that they're going on other tracks. So, hi, Jeff Buster Bob. Welcome to Texas. What part of Texas? I was in Waxahachie for 2 years. I can still do a bad Texas accent. Bad enough that people will think I am from Texas. I tell this in one of my Rhino Rally stories that I did the whole Rhino Rally at Busch Gardens, Tampa in my bad Texas accent. That over there is an elephant. They love straw. And we get around to the end of the ride, and this guy hops off the back of my Land Rover and comes walking up and goes, "That was awesome. I'm from Houston. What part of Texas are you from?" And I was like, "California." It was sad. I felt bad for him. Anyways, that's my bad Texas accent. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, Kevin's a real nice hit. Bye, Kevin. Let's see. We had a PhotoPass photographer trick our three boys into posing like princesses by the castle one night. It was awesome. Reminded me of something you might have done. That would be cute. Yes, I did do some things like that. I had a lot of fun like that. Is it weird if a guy goes alone to visit the Disney princesses? Well, I'm a weird guy, Hulk Shooter. I love visiting them. No, not weird at all. Just make sure you treat them appropriately. So, started over $10 an hour in 2004. Yeah, see, Suzanne, you got to help build the system. So, had a little bit more than we did. They had lowered the starting wage by the time I came on board. Do I think they'll retheme Pizza Rizzo to Pizza Java? I don't think they know what they're going to do with Pizza Rizzo. So, let's see. 2 more years till Disney gets redone when Iger leaves. Well, maybe. We'll see who takes over. I'm going to wait and see on that. I'm from San Antonio. Sound nothing like a local. Thank you, Jeff Buster Bob. That's why I couldn't believe the one guy from Houston. Now, part of it, though, is my Texas accent now has been kind of mingled in with a little bit of the hillbilly Ozarkian accent, so it's not as clear as it was. But yeah, I used to be a little bit better with it. Hello to New Zealand. Awesome. Go in the Silver Dollar City for vacation. What do I recommend to do there? Everything, Jake's Magic. Kevin Sutherland, thank you so very much for that. I appreciate it. Jake, there is so much to do at Silver Dollar City. Do you like eating? Do you like shopping? Do you like roller coasters? Do you like dark rides? It really, and this is true anytime somebody asks me, what do you recommend to do at a park? I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know what you like. I don't know what your family likes. I don't know what kind of experiences. I like everything. And so my honest answer is everything. But then you're not going to like everything probably. If you are afraid of thrill rides and I tell you to go on an outlaw run, well, then you're going to hate me because I told you to do something you hate. If you're not into shows and I tell you to go see a show and then you're sitting at the show going, why am I wasting my time? SirWillow told me to do this. You know what you like. So look for those kinds of things. And I've got several videos that show a lot of the different stuff at Silver Dollar City. So definitely look for those. And I know that's kind of a cop-out, and I'm sorry, but I'm not you, and you're not me, and so our tastes are going to be different. And it's not trying to be mean. I hope it doesn't sound rude that way. But there's so much to see and do at all of those parks. So don't hesitate to take a look at the videos I've got and others and have some fun with it. So, hey, Ray, managed to catch me live. Happy you're catching this part as opposed to all the technical stuff I was having earlier. My internet decided to be stupid. Let's see. Oh, gosh. Hulk Shooter, yeah, your friend didn't want to meet the princesses because he thought it was too girly. And I see kids or adults. Oh, adults shouldn't go see the characters. It's for kids only. Yeah, Pucky. Go see them. I love the princesses. I had a lot of fun meeting them. So, you can see my hillbilly roots. Now, the funny thing, Jeff Buster Bob, I don't have hillbilly roots. I grew up in California, in Sacramento to be exact. There are rednecks around in California, but there are not any hillbillies there. I've only lived in Missouri for 8 years, so that's where that comes from. Now, if you go to my grandmother was raised in southeast Arkansas. So there are hillbilly roots there, but they were long gone before I came around. So I really don't have roots. I've just kind of gleaned and adopted where I live. So should do a collab with another Disney YouTuber. I actually just did one on this last Disney trip with Jennifer Oaks. So there is a collab there. Part of the problem with me doing collabs, I would love to do more collabs. But I live in Missouri. And most of them are down in Florida or California, so I don't live near them. So trying to, get in contact and build the relationships is tough. I'm just big enough for people to have an idea who I am sometimes, but not big enough that the big YouTubers have any idea who I am or want to work with me because I'm not a benefit to them. So it makes it a little awkward that way. I am working on a couple possible collabs for the Disneyland trip in October. I'm hoping, and I don't want to announce them because I don't want to get expectations up and have it not happen, and I don't want to put any pressure on them either. But I am definitely working on a couple things. But I would love to do more collabs. I really would. It's just very hard from a distance. Oh, excuse me. I hope I didn't do that in the microphone. So, do I watch Disney Food Blog? Yes, I do. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see. And Craig deleted something. Who knows? They have Captain Marvel California Adventure. I would love to meet Captain Marvel. That would be really cool. Should talk to some of the road trippers like Sam the Woo, Adam the Woo, I think is what you mean. Carpetbagger or Justin Scard. The closest I've had to any of them coming here, Justin, I believe, did the Route 66 deal and missed me. And then the Trackers were here, and I didn't find out they were here until like the day after they left to go home. I was like, otherwise I would have run into them. I would very deliberately have hung around Silver Dollar City to run into them. But yeah, a lot of them don't come around. In fairness, too, and I don't want to talk bad, but I don't necessarily want to be associated with Adam the Woo. And if you're familiar with his history with Disney and Universal and some things have happened there, you should probably understand why. It's nothing against him, but I'm still working on my relationships with the parks, and I don't want to jeopardize that with something like that. So, yeah, you won't see me work with Adam the Woo. He does a different style of video than I can even see myself working in with. I don't see us meshing that well. So, Captain Marvel's also at Disneyland Paris if you're interested. Oh, I'd love to see her at Disneyland Paris. You want to pay for it? Hi, Marissa. Good to have you. Let's see here. What theme park? Rick Rack, thank you so much. This looks like a fun question. What theme park, amusement park, anywhere in the world you've never been to would you want to visit? Tokyo Disney would be the first ones. Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea. That's the first ones that come to mind. There are several in Europe I would love to go to. Alton Towers, Efteling. Oh gosh. There's so many. The whole Northeast I haven't been to. So Hershey Park, Six Flags Great Adventure, Canada's Wonderland. I got to get up to Quebec sometime. My family roots on my dad's side are all up in Quebec. So, yeah. But probably Tokyo Disney and Disney Sea would be my first ones. And then used to live in Sacramento. See, I was East Sacramento, and then we moved to South Sac for a while. So Rancho Cordova and Elk Grove. But yes, 2 hours from everything, hour and a half sometimes. So yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're up in the mountains in snow. Get an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you're at the beach or San Francisco. And yeah, Sacramento was a great place to grow up. Had the rivers there. You go rafting or boating and fishing, and yeah, it was great. Sacramento was a very good place to grow up. So, have you seen the magic shows at Disney? Mickey the Magician? No, they actually, when I was at Disneyland Paris, they were not running it. They had it closed for refurbishment. It was like, oh, bummer. So I have not seen it. And then I'm going to, I think they're running it at California Adventure right now, but I'm going to get out there and they're going to have the PhilharMagic in there again, where the Muppets used to be. So I'm like, okay. So no, I haven't seen those. In fact, even the Disneyland or the Walt Disney World Magic Shop is now gone. They used to have it at Disney Springs. It had been on Main Street, and they moved it to Disney Springs, and the Magic Shop is gone now. We were very disappointed to find that out. So yeah, no more magic. That was sad. Let's see. Once went to San Francisco, California. It was 40 degrees in the summer. That's San Francisco for you, and foggy probably. It's always foggy and cold. Let's see. With all the cuts and changes around Hollywood studios, do you think the citizens will eventually disappear? The realist in me says probably at some point. I hope not. I don't want them to. I love the citizens of Hollywood, but they have been reducing the numbers. Same thing with the ones at Magic Kingdom. I hope management... This is the budget cutting thing. And I'm afraid the management's going to sit there and say, oh, they're really not adding anything. People don't spend money to come see them. It's not going to bother us if we lose them. I'm afraid. I'm afraid for the future unless the company refocuses a little bit. I'm worried about them a little bit. I will admit, Caleb. Patrick, I highly recommends Hershey Park. I would love to get up there. I've been to some parks in Pennsylvania as part of a road trip. We went to Knoebels. We went to Lakemont. We went to Dorney. We didn't make it to Hershey. It was closed in October when I was going through. But I'd love to get up there. Let's see. Yes, Efteling is just a neat-looking park. Gordon Joseph, let's see. Valerie Blackcats. Watch many of the SDC vids and it doesn't seem very wheelchair friendly. Lots of hills and trails. Would a motorized chair be better or a scooter? Yes, you want a motor. You really do. You don't want to be pushing a chair around Silver Dollar City because it is in the Ozark. They call them mountains. They're big foothills. And so there's no way to make this park level. In fact, when you come into the square and then you head down towards Fire in the Hole and Wildfire, that hill going up it, we call it Heart Attack Hill because it's a steep hill to come up. They actually tell scooters, do not take scooters up that hill. It's too steep. We'll take it all the way around. So it's not a great wheelchair, or walking park in that regard if you have issues. But if you can get a scooter or rent one, that will help if you need that. And some of it will depend upon the ride. Keep in mind, a lot of it was built at a time before the ADA too. So there are parts of it that are not up to code that way, but they do the best they can. But yeah, if you're thinking wheelchair, go for the electric scooter. Absolutely. And a four-wheel one is better than a three-wheel. I had times just even with the hill at the train station where people would come down and they would turn on that hill just a little bit. And with the three wheels, it would be just off balance and tip over. So go with the four-wheel cart. So 2 hours in California, about 12 miles. Not in Northern California, Craig. You had real distance there. Now in the LA basin, which we considered a whole different state, really, yes, but not around Sacramento, except rush hour sometimes. Let's see. Oh, good. Congrats to your daughter, Susanna. I remember you told me about her getting on with PhotoPass. Magic Kingdom. She's looking to me for good info. Oh, that's scary. Suzanne, when you get a chance, send me her contact information, and I can put her in touch with a couple photographers down there who can get her hooked up and help her get going, too. A couple really nice ones. So, yeah, let me know, and I can get her in some contact information that way to help her prepare. Let's see. Locals name the fog Craig. Yes, that would be San Francisco. After Galaxy's Edge and the big 50th celebration, what do I think is next? Getting Epcot fixed up, but I'm not sure I like the direction they're going with the fix-up. And then Iger will be done at that point, so we will kind of see. Again, I really hope it's kind of a refocusing of the company. But do I remember Marine World Africa USA in Redwood City? Oh, yes. I went to that park as a kid a whole bunch. My biggest memories of it, it was basically a park of islands. And you had these huge safari raft boats that you would get into, and they would drive you around the island so you could see all the animals on the islands. They had an awesome water ski show, the lions, the tigers, the elephants. One of the elephants was actually one of the banthas in Star Wars. Yes, I definitely remember Marine World Africa USA before they moved it to Vallejo, and then it became Six Flags, and yep. Good memories there. It's hard to find pictures. I do actually have a picture. You know what? I'm going to look here. I have a picture of me and my sister there. Oh, here we go. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to pull this up if my deal wants to come up. Okay, so this is actually me and my sister at Marine World Africa USA in Redwood City. When we were kids. Don't I look cute? And that is the Bantha costume that they put on. And then they had a kids area. They were one of the first to have something like this. So yes, I do definitely remember that. But there's a nice little trivia question. One of these days I'll try and do some videos on that. I just need the pictures. And here goes my dropped frame rate again. Don't you dare do that, you stupid computer. Okay, we're still okay. I'm getting messages on high loss, so I'm like, don't do that. Money saving question. What's your opinion on Disney's various dining plans? Have I tried it? I actually was trying to talk about that at the end of the other stream. The dining plan can save you money or can cost you money. There's 3 different ones. You really need to look at how much your family is going to eat at the park, what they're going to eat, and if it's going to be worth it or not. If you want to do a lot of table service restaurants, then the big all-encompassing dining plan can be worth it, but it's a lot of food and you're going to be spending a lot of time in restaurants and not in the park so much. But there's also the small one that does one table service restaurant Sorry, one quick service restaurant and one snack. So that might save you money. That's actually more around my budget and what I would actually eat in the parks. But you've really got to kind of price compare what you're going to get with them, if you're paying for it or if it's included free with the room, and go from there. The only time I have actually done a meal plan was our trip last October, and that's because we had somebody that was sponsoring us and covered it all for us. So, which was wonderful because it was eating places we never would have eaten at otherwise. So, let's see here. Smaller months. Yep. Let's see. Thoughts on the Cars films. Love them. And dogs! My dogs are going crazy over there. Let's see here. Finishing Marvel Land DCA. Yeah, coming up. It's going to be a little ways. I went to Six Flags in Vallejo when you lived in the area for Halloween. Now, if it was Six Flags Marine World at the time, when they still had the elephants and other stuff, it was still nice. It's not the same as it was now. Discovery Kingdom has removed a lot of the animal stuff. There's still some of it there. And I've got faint hopes of being able to get there. If I can get out to visit my dad, I may try to make a trip over there. But, yeah, Aaron got to eat a tepanito with us on the one trip. Let's see. Recommend going to Disneyland around February, September, and November. I think I've actually got a couple videos where I talk about that. Anytime that the school starts, that first month after school starts is a great time to go to the parks if you can get there. Good times once kids start getting in. So, let's see here. Yeah, don't kill my stream with saving money and stuff. Thoughts on Shazam? I haven't seen it yet. I'm interested in it. It looks like it could be really funny, or it looks like it could be really stupid. But I would definitely like to see it. Okay, come here, dog. Somebody wants to see the dogs. Come here. Come here. No, not over there. Okay, Celia, come here. Ugh. There. There's Celia. This is the yippy one. Sure. Can you say hi? This is the one who worships me. It's really scary. And you can hear the other one. She's just barking to go outside. So let me put them out. Okay. But I'm going to leave you out there forever. Yeah, go back. Go on. Go. Okay, then don't go. Goofball. Silly dogs. One wants to go out, the other one's like, I don't think so. Okay. I did see the video of the Hondo animatronic for Star Wars. Oh my gosh, it looks good. It looks awesome. That's actually probably one of the things I'm most excited about with the October trip is we should be there late enough that the main crowds will have died down a little bit. We'll be there during the week. So I'm, fingers crossed, optimistic that when we go to Disneyland in October, we're going to be able to experience all the Star Wars. Really hope so. Walt Disney World during spring break. I'm so sorry for your friend. At least it wasn't during Christmas week. So, is that Kong? No, that was Sealy. I don't have a Kong. I've got a Ginger and a Sealy. Kong. So, in any case, guys, this has ended up being longer than I had expected just because of all the dropped frames and everything else. So I'm going to wrap this up. My wife is still hiding in the back, and she's probably waiting for me to finish the live stream so she feels like she can come into her own living room. She does that. And then you can hear my dogs go nuts because it's feeding time for them. They're like, we want our snacks and our yummies and everything else. So, yes, Aaron, Star Wars in October. Yeah, Aaron's going to be along on that trip with me. Poor me. Or poor Aaron. Hey, just wait, Aaron. You're going to get to hear me snore with or without the machine. So, Hollywood Studios is a full-day park. Don't believe this. These people say it's only a half-day park. They don't do diddly in there. They go see Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, and then they leave. And there is so much more to do in Hollywood Studios. I easily spent full days the last two trips there. And when we go again, we will be getting, when Star Wars opens, it's going to be definitely a full day at that point. Star Wars itself may be a full day. So they're going to finally match powder on that. But I've got a couple things here, so I'll try and catch these, and I'm going to start wrapping up. Plan for early September for Walt Disney World, and now Galaxy's Edge may throw a wrench in it. Yeah, it's possible. I think what may happen with Galaxy's Edge in Florida is you're going to get a lot of people that are going to hit it on weekends, and probably just Hollywood Studios during the week. We'll see. I don't think anybody really knows what kind of impact Galaxy's Edge is going to have on all the parks. We know it's going to bring in a lot of crowds. We don't know if it's going to hit all the parks or if it's just going to be studios, and I don't know. We'll see. Kevin Sutherland, what part of Sacramento did I live in? Don't live in anymore. I grew up in Rancho Cordova for the most part, but I also lived in Elk Grove for a couple years and South Sacramento. If you look up old Sacramento history, there was something called the Good Guys shooting. Good Guys used to be an electronics store and stuff. At the time that happened, I actually lived about a half mile away from it, so we were watching it on live TV and we heard the stuff through the window. So, but most of my growing up was in Rancho Cordova. 4-day pass for Disney World for your first trip, or is Animal Kingdom? I didn't miss much. No, Animal Kingdom has the best rides at Disney right now with Pandora and Flight of Passage. Kilimanjaro Safari is awesome. Everest is awesome. You're going to miss too much if you skip Animal Kingdom. I don't understand that. It's almost like, oh, there's only animals there and nothing else to do. Okay, first off, I love animals. Animals are awesome. And there's so much other stuff. Disney does not have a half-day park, with the one exception being Walt Disney Studios in Paris. That one may be a half-day park. But all the others are full days. Don't believe... Get away from the Disney experts when they start telling you stupid stuff like that, because I'm sorry, it's stupid. It's only a half day. Yeah, you can go spend your half day. I'm going to spend the whole time there and actually see and do everything. So, will I visit any other SoCal parks in October? No. We're going to be just Disney on that trip, just because of time. That's about all the time we're going to have. So, any case, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Once we got the stream working fine, it's been fun. If you saw the first part, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened, but yeah, it totally threw me off my game. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't ordered your SirWillow pins yet, don't forget to get those. There is a link in the description to pre-order them. They should be here at my home, fingers crossed, in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And I'm actually sitting here with envelopes already. I'm going to start getting stuff ready to get them mailed, so when they do arrive, I can get them out in the mail pretty quick. I'm excited. They will look like that. So very excited about those. It's the one thing I have to tell you, I spend a good chunk of money to be able to order the pins, so I'm fingers crossed hoping to make it back. But I'm excited to see them get here. I'm excited about having my first SirWillow pin. So be sure to check those out and all the other stuff down there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your patience tonight with all the technical glitches and other stuff. I really appreciate that, everybody. Thank you also to everybody who gave and all the super chats. I really appreciate that. Honestly, guys, you have blessed me so much. So thank you so much. Have an awesome and wonderful night. Aaron's posting up those links for you too. So have a great night, everybody. If you have a question I didn't get, send me a message on Facebook or email me at sirwillow@gmail.com.